Today, the Brooklyn Nets announced that Kevin Durant is going to be a Brooklyn Net this coming up season, and this is my thoughts. These type of videos where I'm not going to be having no notes written down or anything, just going to be talking basketball on the news and my reaction and thoughts on the new thing that happened. So in this case, Kevin Durant is now going to be a Brooklyn Net for the coming up 2022-2023 season. The Brooklyn Nets, now that Kevin Durant is going to be staying with them, they are looking extremely scary. Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and Ben Simmons on the same team. Ben Simmons is going to be healthy this coming up season. This team has the defense, the unstoppable offense, and the playmaking. The Brooklyn Nets' real only downside is their depth now and their center play. Ben Simmons has never really showed us he's an interior defender before, but who knows, he can surprise us this season and maybe be their interior defender for the year. I don't think that would work out extremely well. I think they're better off signing a decent big man in free agency, because I know there's still some in there, and just have Ben Simmons do what he's best at, guarding the perimeter. Now, the Brooklyn Nets are definitely championship contenders in my opinion, with the trio of Ben Simmons, Kyrie Irving, and now Kevin Durant still. I think they re-signed Patty Mills. They got Royce O'Neal in that trade from Utah. They have decent pieces around them. Nicholas Claxton even. I don't think he's a very incredible starting center worthy. I think he would be nice coming off the bench. But they still have that trio, and that trio themselves can get you into the finals. Now, to be fair, we haven't even seen Ben Simmons play since the 2021 playoffs. And it wasn't even with the Nets, so this is a completely new group of guys. But these two guys that you're joining, Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, are masterful on offense, can stretch the floor, don't necessarily demand the ball, they can catch and shoot and everything. I think Ben Simmons will fit in pretty nicely and pretty smoothly. Kyrie Irving might get less handles on the ball since Ben Simmons is more of a ball-dominant player. But Kyrie Irving will get his moments, I think, still. Kyrie will, get his little ISO moves off. And who knows, Kyrie Irving and Ben Simmons in a pick and roll might be pretty nasty. And, of course, Kyrie can still spot up once in a while from the three or whatever. And this trio offensively might be unstoppable. And this trio defensively, we all know Ben Simmons, all defensive type of player. Kyrie never been that type of defensive player where he's going to lock up your best player. But Kevin Durant has shown in the past that he can be a very decent defender, above average for sure, can block shots at the rim, and at times lock up very good players. This trio has playmaking, offense, and defense. I think they'll be a championship contender this coming up season. Now, one thing about the Nets before I move on, this is going to be pretty awkward between Durant and Steve Nash after he basically told the GM and owner, I'm not going to play here in Brooklyn unless you get Steve Nash out. Which is kind of odd because Kevin Durant was the one that organized Steve Nash being their head coach, and now he kind of backed up on it and said he wants him out. That's kind of where you get into, this is all kind of Kevin Durant's fault. Him wanting out of a situation he created totally himself, with pairing him alongside Kyrie Irving, him wanting James Harden there, and then they eventually got him out. Now him wanting Steve Nash out after he wanted him as the coach. Hopefully they make amends, and hopefully they move on. And if they do, I think this team is going to be a championship contender. Now, what did this decision do for the league? Now, the league was at a standstill for literally months, and I made a video. It was my first video I made on a topic, my second video ever. You can go check it out if you want. It's not a good video. It's not a video I like necessarily, but if you want to watch it, go right ahead. I'm not going to stop you. But in that video, I basically talk about how Kevin Durant ruined the offseason and how he basically put a standstill on free agent signings, big trades, or even small trades. And now that not every single team is focused on Kevin Durant trying to trade for him, we might actually see some movement in this offseason with players like Colin Sexton, Dennis Schroeder, Montrezl Harrell all being actually signed finally and not put off to the side as teams like side quests, and the main quest is getting Kevin Durant. Now that the Kevin Durant saga is finally over, these teams will actually acknowledge these role players who are still very, very solid and can help your team out a lot. And even Patrick Beverley tweeted out this morning after the Kevin Durant news had came out, basically saying that this KD situation has taken jobs away from people in the NBA. And by jobs, I'm guessing he means the players and everything not getting jobs and contracts on teams. And you can't really argue that. I mean, the Kevin Durant situation made every single team in the league focus in on Kevin Durant, whether they had a chance to get him or they had no chance. They were somewhat interested. And for players like Colin Sexton, Dennis Schroeder, Montrezl Harrell, all these players that are in free agency still, they were basically getting ignored for about 2 months almost. And thankfully, now that everything is off and Kevin Durant is going to be a Brooklyn Nets still. Hopefully they get jobs, and hopefully we see some big signings coming up soon. And literally right after the Kevin Durant news came out, I seen a bunch of reports and rumors. This team is interested in Donovan Mitchell, and we might see some Donovan Mitchell trade rumors come up even more, and hopefully a Donovan Mitchell trade actually goes down in the coming weeks. So anyways, Kevin Durant stays with the Brooklyn Nets. They'll be a top team in the Eastern Conference for sure. And hopefully the players that deserve jobs and, are waiting in free agency for that call, get that call coming up soon. And hopefully some trades go down coming up. Like Donovan Mitchell, I saw the Lakers were interested in Patrick Beverley and Bogdanovich or something like that. Hopefully we see some movement, and hopefully you hit that like button and subscribe button. And if you disagree or agree, or you're on the fence, put that down in the comments below. Let's have a conversation. Be respectful. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace out.